trot slow, if they can trot faster, or if they can lope slow, or they can lope faster, it's because our seat bones are doing something. She's lengthening these strides, and where the difference is, if we keep that difference is, when his left rear foot is back, if she bumps him with that foot drives forward, his left rear foot drives farther up towards his left front foot. Before he has the chance to trot, she releases that leg and bumps the other foot. That way the horse starts understanding, oh, when you do this, you want me to walk more. When you squeeze with both, you want him to trot. Now, you're saying, well, I don't want to go to a show and be doing this. You're not. Because when she's doing that, what she's doing is telling her, would you please pay attention to my seat bones? When her leg comes off to kick him, she has to be more aggressive with that seat bone to bring that leg in. When this one comes off, she has to be more aggressive with that seat bone to say drive. So eventually, you can just use your seat bones stronger. And the leg doesn't have to do all that flopping. If you're a Western Pleasure, now get real quiet on him, Brenda. Real quiet. Let him Western Pleasure. Just said, oh, he said, okay, maybe we'll get there sometime tomorrow. Good boy. Now go back into riding with your feet. Say, come on, let's walk. You've done a great job on this. You're doing really, really well. This horse is paying attention to your feet real well on this. Send him down a little bit with your hands so you get that length into that neck. There you go. There you go. Because you want it all. You've got a great lengthening going on, and he's walking into you like he's supposed to. Now you're going to say, now I want everything. I want you to lower your neck, and I want you to point that nose, and I want you to give me that lengthening. It's all about, can I ask my horse to do this, and will he do it for me right now? We'll talk a little bit about what we're doing, because this is you're doing such a good job. This is a great example. She's catching him. When his neck tries to come up, she catches him before he comes up to where he was. It's not about telling your horse how to say yes. It's about telling your horse, don't come up here and then go back down, because if we let them come clear up and then we touch their mouth and they go to the same spot and then they come up again, they come to the same spot up, that's just telling him to say yes. We want him to go down every time he touches farther, not less, and then go down again now. Now go down again now. Say, don't come up here. There. Now you can soften to your hands because you took him another ½ inch down. Then you're going to say, this is where I wanted you in the first place. Don't let your horse say yes to you. Say, go down there and stay. So you have to catch him. There. Now let go and let him point his nose. Even if he comes up, you say, it's okay. Then you rattle him again. Say, get back down there. Good. Then you soften to him again. Eventually, and it's becoming a lot softer already, because he feels that softness of the rein. You see when he gives it up and he gives you just a wee bit of slack of rein himself? That means he's finding his own reward instead of you doing anything to him. Instead of you rattling his face to say, he starts to brace on your hands and you had to rattle. When he starts to brace his neck, they start to make contact on your face, on your hands. That's all he can do. That's how they do it. They make contact with your hands, they start to raise their neck. Right when he does that, you have to shake him off your hands. Now he's saying, well, I'm getting tired of that, so I'm just going to find my own spot. I'm going to get off of her hands down here. And it's not releasing behind the bit, it's just releasing that soft, that's where softness is. She's got a nice contact with this rein. So he can only go so high, and he feels it again. Good. Good. Now, squeeze him into your trot in that position. Keep that neck down before you take off. So you're threatening with your hands. Now squeeze. If he doesn't trot, kick him in your belly. Kick him. Turn that toe out. Draw some blood. Don't shut your hands anymore. Don't shut your hands anymore. Be soft as you're trying to keep that neck down. This is a little harder for him to do. There. Now rattle his neck down. Good. Don't separate your hands so much. Remember, we're trying to ride one-handed. Good. And let him go down a little deeper. Good. Good. Keep driving with your feet, though, because we want him to stay engaged behind. Good. Now release him softly with hands and legs. Softly. Don't take your leg totally off of him, and he'll stay in that same tempo with a low neck. Soften your hands. Soft. Keep trotting. Keep trotting. Keep your leg on. Good. And soften. Good. Good. And walk. Good job. Very. Now lengthen his walk. Lengthen his walk. There. Now release him and pet him. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Good job, Brenda.
Okay, go on 20-meter circle to your right. With his head up now. I work horses up, I work horses down, I work horses up. I put them back down to relax them. Then I pick them back up and say, okay, get on muscle again, become an athlete. He said, I like the other better. He's going to say, I realize that. And 20-meter circle. The whole point of it's rolling a horse down like that and over the top like that is to say, see, I can push you into it. A lot of times the horse gets in the struggle with their head up because they're using their lower neck and they're not bringing their back up. So you send them down so they can, in fact, right now, just send him down. We're going to do what I do on a lot of horses. If they get confused, like he's a little confused now go on your trot with his head down on a 20-meter circle. Softly with your hands, keep him down. Squeeze him into his trot, but keep his head down as you trot. Stab him. You ask once, that's enough. Now stay on your circle with softness. Stay on your circle with softness. Now what I'm trying to do right here is we've got him engaged from the rear end with his neck down and relaxed. See the arch in his neck, and the lower part of his neck underneath by his jawline is softer. Now lift your hands right there. Just lift, keep your leg on, lift your hands. There, lift your hands. Lift your hand, there. Keep the tempo, because he says, do you want me to slow down? There. What you do when you take a horse down like that, you've got him in a pretty good position. Now he's a little bit behind vertical, but that's okay, because we had him behind vertical to get his neck right. Now we're trying to say, there, here he comes, here he comes. Good. Keep thinking about a little up, keep your shoulders back, there, there. If you take it there, good, vertical, a little more up, there, let go, press with your leg, press with your leg, press with your leg, press with your leg. Don't bounce down your hands. Get your hands real steady. Don't bounce on his mouth, he's going to go back down. Press with your leg, there. Don't touch his mouth, don't touch his mouth. Press with your leg, press with your leg. There, press with your leg. Don't touch his mouth. You don't need to touch his mouth. Just press with your leg. He'll come up if you just press with your leg. If you accidentally bump him, he said, you want me up, down, or up? And you want him up. Your leg is what's going to send him up. There. Good. 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 Good job. Good job. And walk. Why I send a horse down there when they get confused, because they throw their heads up and they get their nose in front of vertical and they start to, they're not really hollow back, but they're almost hollow back. And it's almost impossible to drive them unless you're really good at it. You're driving into that hand position with the hand. You don't pull on their face anymore, you just keep driving until they figure it out themselves. So if they get confused, I say, you know, this is going to be too much of a battle. So I'm going to try to give them a call. So I send them down. There's no way they can trot off if their head's down without bringing their back up. They can trot off with their head up in the wrong position with their back hollow. They cannot trot off with their... Right. So we send them down, say, get down there, this is where I talk about behind vertical is not a no-no word to me. It's a no-no to a person that rides it too much. Because what happens is, it's kind of an example we just saw. When she had him behind vertical, she brought him up. He stayed behind vertical when he was up. That would be a no-no to stay that way all the time. But we kept encouraging, keep your hands still and keep pressing with your leg, and that nose will come back to vertical as long as we don't accidentally bump them. We're riding through our seat and our legs, and our hands are assisting that. We have to keep remembering that. Anytime our hands accidentally touch your horse, it's our fault, not theirs. 85% of riding horses, the mistakes are made through us, not the horse. Once we start teaching these things, we have to be so precise that, I accidentally touched my horse and he buried his nose. Well, he was supposed to. And start sitting down again. Now go into your trot. When you squeeze him, there's nothing wrong with, okay, maybe I'll go if he was 2 years old. He's 14. That's old news. The quicker you get that response time, the quicker, the safer he becomes for you to ride. What if there was a 500-foot cliff in front of, or say you're riding across the pasture. Let's not even use that, that's too much. You're riding across the pasture and you're riding through the tall grass and you look up and all of a sudden you see, he doesn't see it, a giant roll of barbed wire in front of you. Can you stop your horse instantly? That doesn't mean let go of your seat, drop on your seatbelt, take your leg off and release his face. That means take his head off with your hands because you have to sustain both of them. Now, I say you have to have your horse still respond to your hands,